Hey, what's up, everybody? Paul from Hashtag Sports. And I wanted to join and sort of talk about the game that we saw last night and break down how things went and four reasons why the Bills absolutely beat the brakes off your Super Bowl champions. And boy, did it feel good. So, without further ado, I want to thank Mr. Rogers Homes for being our sponsor. Of course, you can always join us at the Hashtag Sports Golf Tournament, which is Sunday, September 18th, the day before the home opener. Please go to the link in the description and register for this tournament. It is unlike anything you've ever been at before. We have tons of really, really cool stuff to give away. We'd love to meet you. So come on out. Let's support a great cause in the Williams Syndrome Foundation. And let's raise some money playing some golf and having a good time. Celebrating a Buffalo Bills victory Friday, as well as a upcoming Buffalo Bills victory Tuesday after they continue to beat the brakes off all their opponents. Boy, what a fun game that was. All right, so let's get moving and let's start talking about this game. So I said we had four reasons. All right, let's go. Four reasons the Bills beat the brakes off your defending Super Bowl champions. Number four, rather, Ken Dorsey. Listen, this was Dorsey's first game as offensive coordinator. Four different players scored touchdowns against the Rams, and offense was spread around really, really well. Even your running backs combined for like 8 receptions, which was something that you really didn't see from Buffalo very much last season. And Zach Moss had 6 of those. Who knew? Who knew? Now, with all that being said, I think it is really important to say that, this was a game Dorsey is planning his entire career for, right? He's always wanted to be an offensive coordinator, interviewed for the job back forever ago when we had Rick Dennison, and has just managed to stay around. Clearly, coaching staff loves him. And, after what you saw, what a coming out party for Ken Dorsey. Now, that relationship with Josh Allen is clearly deeply forged. Very little action in the preseason, and you found Ken Dorsey up in the box, which is where we found Brian Daboll the last couple seasons. And you can only really do that unless you have a great level of communication with your quarterback. Dorsey's up in the box, Allen's down on the field, and again, that's a ton of work and a ton of trust that goes into making that work so seamlessly. So kudos to Ken Dorsey for forging that relationship with Josh Allen. Clearly, Josh trusts him immensely, as well as he should. Now, of course, it's not just Ken Dorsey. It's the staff. I got to be honest with you guys. This is a great coaching staff. You have a return of Aaron Kromer. Joe Brady is your quarterback's coach, who's former offensive coordinator with Carolina Panthers. Mike Shula, who some folks will remember. I know Shula is the last name, right? But Mike Shula, former offensive coordinator and quarterback's coach for the New York Giants. He was an offensive coordinator for the Panthers. He was the Alabama head coach from 2003 to 2006. So this is a guy who's been around and had winning programs. Great addition to the coaching staff. And again, one of those sneaky moves that this is the type of staff you build to make your team just unilaterally better, right? Great job by this front office. Great job by Ken Dorsey and the coaching staff for identifying the things that they need. All right, number 3, Cooper Kupp was all alone, man. This poor guy, he is such a dangerous player. I think that's obvious, right? Like, I know you can walk away from the box score and say, well, Paul, he had 13 receptions for 128 yards on 15 targets and a touchdown. The guy's clearly dangerous. Right. Now, mind you, he had more receptions. Well, he had one less reception than the next 3 highest players who caught the football for the Rams last night. Tyler Higbee had 5 receptions. Darrell Henderson had 5. And Ben Skowronek, which I'm going to mispronounce that name the entire video, had 4 receptions. They combined for 14 receptions. Kupp at 13 by himself. And listen, this is probably one of the most dangerous receivers inside the NFL. That is obvious, but he carries an immense weight on his shoulder. 2022 is going to be an awfully tough year for the Super Bowl MVP because this offense, while it is similar to last year, you're missing some weapons. Gone is OBJ. Gone is Van Jefferson, who I mean, I can't believe I could say that this offense missed Van Jefferson. The offense kind of missed Van Jefferson a little bit. You replaced him with the perennial injured, but occasionally dominating Allen Robinson. And then a 7th round wide receiver from Notre Dame, entering his 2nd year. Fair to call it, not a rookie, but Skronek is a 7th round receiver from Notre Dame. So these weapons are not the same. This offense really, really depended on players who could get open quick. Skronek is, I guess, in that category. Allen Robinson is not. So identity is going to be an issue for the Rams for the next coming weeks. Josh Allen has to be your number 2 because the man is just simply a machine. Breaking news, Josh Allen is really good at football. You saw Josh be completely comfortable with what is, again, another completely remade offensive line. No matter what happens in front of him, not only is he able to find ways to buy time, but he's also able to still look downfield, complete passes. Josh had 5 incomplete passes yesterday. 2 of them were completed, but they were to the wrong team. He was 27 for 31, technically. Well, not technically, in reality. Like, that's a ridiculous day. That's a ridiculous day. And it was comfortable for him. And I could say it's comfortable because he was going against a really, really nasty Rams defensive line. Leonard Floyd, who was an impact player with Von Miller, a bit of a ghost without him. Aaron Donald was a problem in the first quarter of this football game. I was really worried about Ryan Bates and Aaron Donald. And wouldn't you know it, Buffalo, Aaron Cromer, that offensive line, Ryan Wendell, also a member of the staff for the Bills, they figured it out. Whatever it took to mitigate that Rams defensive line, they were going to do it because they thought they could expose a Rams secondary. And they did. Made Jalen Ramsey look foolish on a couple passes. And that's what good teams do, right? That's what really good teams do. Josh Allen, only 2 sacks for 5 yards, 10 rushes, led the team in rushes, 56 yards, and a touchdown. But boy, is Von Miller fun to watch, right? Von Miller makes everyone better. Von Miller leaves with 1.5 sacks and 4 QB hits. Psych. Those are AJ Epinesa stats. AJ Epinesa had a sack and a half and 4 QB hits. What? AJ Epinesa? I didn't know he was going to dress for this game. Von Miller held an absolute clinic out there because not only was he impactful across the defensive line, he was impactful on the sidelines. And you could see that because you look at players like Boogie Basham, moved him all over the defensive line when he finally got into the football game, ended up with an interception. Congratulations, Boogie Basham. You're leading the NFL in interceptions right now. I'm really proud of you. Good job, Boogie. This was a defensive line that was just all in all dangerous last night. You sacked Matt Stafford 7 times. It was like he was back in Detroit. Now, just pause for a moment. Remember, this we said for the last multiple seasons, the pass rush had to get better in Buffalo. It had to get better. Imagine this pass rush with a healthy Trey White in the backside. Like, this is the pass rush you need to defend against a weaker secondary. You started Benford, Dane Jackson, and Elam came off the bench for you. Your first round pick came off the bench for you. You've got 5 seasons combined between those 3 players. Kudos, man. Kudos to your secondary coaches. Kudos to the front office for building a really dangerous defensive line. Whew. Boy, that was fun to watch. You spent big money on Von Miller. Big money. After week 1, that's what a champ looks like, man. Like, you write that down. You know this feeling? That's what a champ looks like. 4 reasons the Bills beat the absolute brakes off your Super Bowl champions. Again, make sure you are joining us for the #Sports Golf Tournament. Thank you again to Mr. Rogers Home. The link is in the description of this video. Join us all week, of course, for more Bills content as we roll it out. Thank you for joining us here. Paul for #. Have a good one, everybody.